spend some time with the dead.
On demand almost. We'd be like, hey, can you like touch the duck or make it go off? And it would just start lighting up and going crazy.
Why should we be afraid of you?
Hello and welcome to What Goes Bump Tonight. I'm your host, Riley Clark, and alongside me, as always, is
Trevor Jensen.
And today our special guest, 305 Paranormal.
What's up, everybody?
Hello. Thank you for having us.
No, yeah, thank you for joining us.
I'll say we've heard nothing but glowing things,
Yeah,
and like
yeah, yeah.
all we like everybody that has said anything is like they're fucking awesome. You need
Yeah.
to talk to them.
You know, shout out
Oh,
to homies Black
That's great.
Smoke,
Thank
Tinder.
you for all that. Thank
Black
you for
Smoke, yeah. Stephen Mello, we love them. They're like little brother and sisters to us. So
Also, Kindred.
Kindred,
Steve, he's on there.
The whole Floridian crew.
Yes.
we stick together.
That's why I love that.
We're rolling deep in the chat.
I'll say,
tonight.
fuck, they are deep tonight, boys. Our Panhandle State is working.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Gotta love it. I feel like there's always like a connection between Michigan and Florida for whatever reason. Like, I don't know.
It just
It's
feels
the
like the
peninsula
destination
thing.
where it's like it's cold as fuck up here right now. Where it's like, can we just go warmer?
You know,
Hey,
how cold it is for you guys?
Like right now, like
It's
it was
31 this morning. Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
34, 30.
Yeah, and it's supposed to drop again and snow harder again, and the roads were complete fucking dog water yesterday, and it's like it's fun.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I love the cold, but I don't. You can keep.
I'll
it
do
back.
snow.
I don't like the
Yeah.
cold and I don't like snow.
Like I love
Then you
it.
gotta-
I'd much
then you gotta
rather be
shovel?
cold than warm. Yeah, fucking. I hate shoveling. I hate it with
I
a
just
burning
cross my
passion.
fingers. It's gonna melt. I'll be honest.
That's not gonna. It doesn't work like that.
Now when you have
And
bald
then when it
tires,
melts,
no
it's
excuse.
like slush and that fucks up your
That's
shoes.
where we're at right now. Is all slush.
It's
like
slush.
it is the worst.
Ah,
And then
it's
your
the
shoes are
worst.
fucking terribly wet all day, and you're like, haha, joke's on me. This is ass.
That's the worst part right there.
So I've never been to New York, and we went to New York to go essentially see her family
Mhm.
right before we were gonna get married. So I had been to New York, but I was like 8 or 9 years old. You know, I'd never
like,
been as
it's
an
not
adult.
fun.
So we went, and then I had missed the snow by like a day or two, right?
It was like one day, like literally.
Oh no.
Yeah. So man, like all it was, it looked like black Slurpees all over the floor. It's just nasty looking like slush.
Yeah.
Yep.
And thank God I wore my Timberlands, because now I would have been slipping all over the place.
No,
over
but you
there.
would have ruined them too, with the slush.
I had
Yeah,
my
when
black
they get
ones,
it all,
so
Right.
when
black.
it's all salty too, that shit's terrible. Like it eats
Yeah.
cars,
Yeah.
it eats fucking shoes. It's so.
Yeah,
Eh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, before we
go
get
on for
too
that
far
forever.
out of a tangent about snow and how terrible it is, we want to thank everyone for helping us reach 500 subscribers last.
Congratulations.
Friday
Thank you,
when our video came out.
Congrats.
It's freaking awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and the video. Let's say 100 and like almost 70 views already in 4 days. Like that's fucking incredible. That place is awesome too. Like that video was a lot of fun.
The tattoo shop.
Yeah, the
Yep.
tattoo shop.
Yeah, I still can't
See?
believe some of the shit that we caught.
That's what's cool. Like everybody automatically assumes that you have to go to a cemetery or a
Mm.
haunted house or mansion or a sanatorium. Like you
Yeah,
can
or the
find
big
stuff.
name locations too. Even like it
Yeah.
has to be like this
Right.
place.
And this just happened to be someone that we knew that was like, "Yo, where I work, is
Shit
haunted."
happens. Like shit happens
Yeah.
a lot.
Like you need to come up in here, and we just arranged it and got in there. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And it was
That's
a lot of
awesome.
fun.
True.
And like, it's just crazy because a place like that, like it's been in Grand Rapids for freaking
Walk
since the
past
city,
it all
you
the
know.
time.
I'd
Don't know it's
passed it
there.
so many times in my life, and for most of my life, it had been abandoned. And up until recently, when the tattoo shop and some other businesses moved in after a developer bought it. But like, you know, I'd never thought of anything about that building. I honestly thought of like, oh yeah, like in the late like 50s or whatever, just been
Right.
sitting there and never
It don't matter. Nothing's happening
wouldn't
in
even
there.
think
Nobody
about
knows
anything
anything about
paranormal
it.
there. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how I feel about every place where it's like you can walk into it and it's like the history does the speaking and then the building will do the talking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
I hear that, man. And yeah, it's cool because it takes away from that typical place. So um, when I was younger, when I first met Jenny, I used to be a store manager for Foot Locker,
Yeah.
and there was a mall. It's called the Westland Mall. It's in Hialeah, Florida. But a cousin of mine used to work there with me too, and he was telling me, "Hey, I'm stocking up the shoes, the shoe displays back on the wall, and for some reason they're like falling, but they don't fall like how something would fall if you put it like too close to the edge. They were being thrown off.
Yeah.
So then I wasn't there, but my cousin he pulls up the footage, and it looked like 7 or 8 shoes being thrown at a diagonal direction.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, no, I mean that's what started like, hey, it can't just be these type of places.
Right. Well, and it's like
Mhm.
those shelves are made to hold those on there. So it's not like they're
Right.
just gonna slide off because they don't have like a lip or anything. Like that doesn't make sense.
Exactly. They're steel rods with
Yeah.
steel like circles that you put your shoe on there.
Yeah. So it's like
So
how?
it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And at an angle, that's weird.
Yeah, where it's like if you take a physicist and you sit him down and you're like, why? And it's like, good luck explaining that one because I can't. Like realistically, there's a lot of times where it's like I will use my full brain power and like be like logic. That happened because of that. That's not
Mhm.
paranormal. But then when you get that like random event where you're like, oh, uh, what? Like that defies everything that I know that has like any type of like law of physics or anything. Or it's like
Anytime you see something
Yeah.
that's like potentially like poltergeist activity,
that
know,
one fucks with me the hardest. Like
it
that makes
fucks
my
with you
brain
so
go
hard
like,
because you're like, like for instance, like my shirt getting pulled in the last video, like that like that should not be happening.
no, yeah, that and like if people want to like like talk crap about it and be like it doesn't look great. It's like yes, I was far away from the hallway, but like if you look closely, you can see that his shirt's at like a triangle point, like it's being
I
pulled.
remember
Like it
that.
Oof.
doesn't just like we
Yeah.
don't starch our clothing.
No,
Like,
it
And
just
if
doesn't
you
work like
watch
that.
like the whole scene, like my shirt's flat to my back that entire time, and then when I go to hand Jenna this
oh, our gimbal, yeah.
the gimbal,
Yeah.
Mhm.
my shirt starts going the opposite way that I'm moving. My shirt should be moving
Once
with me,
again, science.
not the other way.
Yeah,
It's either getting pulled this way or being left in the same spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wild. Makes no sense.
Yeah, so before we like just literally sit here and talk all about the tattoo shop because we could talk hours about it. Like I'm curious to know like how long have you guys been doing this paranormal stuff? Like, like as a group or like individually, like let's hear something about y'all, like I want to hear like how everything got its start and we getting back to basics today.
All right, cool. Well, so I'm gonna let Jenny go first because my story is beginning with hers. So
Twines right
I'll let
in.
her tell her.
Mhm. So paranormally for me, I've always had paranormal experiences when I was younger, and that started by between 5 and 6. And I always thought I would say growing up, like something's following me, but then I guess you just tend to realize that it's not that something's following you or I'm haunted. It's just that paranormal activity happens around you because they know that or could sense
Yeah,
that, or they could communicate with you, right?
feels like that, yeah.
And so when I eventually met him, oh well, prior to that, me and one of my best friends, we will always go to like random bed and breakfasts or like historic like places down in Key West, Florida.
Fuck
And we
yeah.
will we will go ghost hunt there, the cemetery. I mean, outside of a building that used to be like a theater and it burned down, whatever. If it was haunted, we were going there trying to like, trying to figure it out. But back, I'm talking about this is like back in ghost hunters days, like back in the beginning. No, I didn't have no equipment,
Mhm.
just my phone and maybe
Yeah,
like a
where it's
recorder.
like I saw something and I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, especially since I kind of grew up with that, and I've always had that in my mind, and I
Yeah.
just learning more. I just wanted to learn more about that.
Right.
And then when I met him, and he had moved in with me, at the beginning, I was like, hey, you might get some weird happenings, and he, just not really like a believer in that. He's like, okay, and just continued playing video games. And
Just like,
One of the-
one of these,
keep it
right?
moving.
Yeah, okay, girl, whatever. You're cute. I'll stick with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no lies.
And then until we moved into
Love
this
it.
one house where we were saving up for our wedding at that point.
Mm.
And in that house, I think things popped off because of they were doing like, I don't know, they were doing stuff there, but then it was just like a lot of negativity in that house.
Yeah.
And I got affected by it. And he actually got his first paranormal thing there, like experience there. And just the things that happened to me at the beginning when I was younger, I noticed that he was getting that, like the somebody sitting next to him on the bed, or like when I was younger, I would hear like my name being called, and I'm thinking it was my mom. It's not my mom. And then he was getting that, but he was thinking I was calling him,
Oh shit.
and it's not
That's
me.
weird.
So like he had the same progression or whatever. And then we went to like a ghost hunting event, and in a famous location down here in Color Bay. It's called the Deering State.
Mhm.
And after that, with that team, I ended up noticing that they were looking for recruits. I emailed them. I went ahead and I kind of interviewed and went on that team. And that team is War Party Paranormal.
Yep.
We call ourselves 305, like online with all our stuff, but we belong to a War Party Paranormal, like a big South Florida team.
Yeah.
And I just
Familiar.
recruited him with me. So that's my story.
Yeah, no, it
And
totally
he-
makes sense too, because it's like you guys are your own like leg of it, where it's like we make our own content.
Yeah.
It's like we don't always go investigate with like the big
No,
like
exactly.
50 people that are in the group.
No,
Like,
and
totally
it would never
understand
happen.
that.
Totally uncoordinated.
Yeah, no, it's what we were literally just like spontaneous, like as shit. Where it's like I think tomorrow we're both gonna try to pull the trigger on like nailing down locations, like hopefully in February, where it's like shit. Where it's like that was literally like a phone call, like that we didn't plan that whatsoever. Like we're doing that,
Yeah.
That's the best, right? How exciting.
right?
Yeah, like we're
Poop my
trying
pants
to
happy.
like book some stuff out for the future here in the next
Mhm.
like before this month's over. Hoping to have like a couple, 4 or 5 like
Yeah, with the
locations
snail
booked out.
mail that it seems that I like at the rate that I edit things. It's like, yeah, we should probably do a couple more so we have like the next month, like in the next month, like
Yeah.
pretty good, so we can keep rolling these out.
That's
And not
good,
only
yeah.
that, it's like it's fun.
Yeah.
Like it's so much fun.
I'm
Absolutely.
sure like I haven't the last time we ghost hunted was when we actually did the tattoo shop, and I've been craving to go back and do it again so bad. It's like,
Mhm.
man, I don't know if I can go any longer, bro. Like we're gonna have to start booking places just so I can.
I
be
need
like, I'm
another
going to be doing this
disembodied
soon.
voice. Like I need another one.
Yeah,
It's kind of like a tattoo addiction. You're like, I need more.
yeah,
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's
it is.
exactly it. And it's like shock therapy in a way too, because I was a terrified pussycat like at the beginning of all this, where it's like let me just hide in myself and like I don't want to speak. Like let me just be in the back, like I'm not that looks scary. Go ahead. Like I don't want to be alone. Don't leave me here.
Yeah, I really want to get scared really bad because I
Yeah.
haven't really like been a little like spooked, a little bit.
Yeah, you
spooked.
get like the heightened awareness, but it's not like the like fight or flight kicks in and you're just like
Mhm.
like I just can't.
Well, you don't know. Maybe that might not happen for you. I haven't
Right,
seen that happen
I
for
feel
me.
desensitized in a way now too. Now we've done it so
I
much.
feel like I get the opposite of scared when paranormal shit happens. Like I get so excited. It's like
Yeah, exactly.
it's like when
like,
I
I'm going
step
there.
on the ice to play hockey. I was just like get locked in. I'm like, let's go,
adrenaline.
like, do something.
Yeah, you hit
else.
the zone.
Yeah. That's how I am. I ain't trying to run from it. I'm gonna figure out what it is.
Right. That's what always cracks me up too, where it's like sometimes you see like some of the like shows where they just like turn and fucking flee. And you're like, bruh,
Yeah,
bruh,
This is what you came
like,
for.
like we signed up for this. Like,
Yes,
no,
exactly. I
like,
ain't
it is scary. I will say that it is scary,
Yeah.
but there's a difference between like getting harmed and being scared.
Mhm.
of course. Yeah, no, and it's It's like going to a comedy show and then up and leaving because they're making you laugh. It's like, what was the
Right.
point in you going, dude? Like,
I'm
Yeah,
sick of
I mean,
that.
like, I
Yeah.
straight up like Butters literally just made a good joke about it, where it's like every time I walk into any location lately, I'm like, I just want to hug, like, like let's just diffuse the hostility here. Like, I'm a hugger, and it's like it's worked, it seems, but at the same time, it's like, do I want to hug like Belganis? Like, ooh, that sounds lucky.
That's true too, though. Like
Hell yeah, I can.
I don't know how many y'all have had been able to investigate, but we haven't been able to like really investigate
Like
anything
crime.
dark, or
Yeah.
like a murder or
No.
anything. Like we have because we went to a prison, but we were so inexperienced, we didn't know what we were doing.
We were green as fuck.
Yeah, we thought we knew what we were doing, but
hey,
looking
we've
back
all
at
been
it,
there at one point. And
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
all good.
yes,
I still don't
we
know how
haven't
to use our
investigated
equipment.
murders.
yeah.
I still
Say
don't
again?
know how to use our
I
equipment.
still have to remind them how to use stuff all the time.
Oh my god, I'm like that with the S box. Like I literally have like the
Okay,
manual.
that makes sense
For some-
because sometimes you press the buttons
And
and
they
it doesn't do
fucking
what it's
lag
supposed
out.
to, and it's like,
Yeah,
okay.
it's not. I'm like, why is it not scanning?
Yeah.
And it's like Bluetooth. I was like, that's not what I want. It's not.
Like, bro, I've never
Press-
connected Bluetooth.
you try to do mode to go to AM, and then it's like
Now
Yeah.
scanning.
now connected. You're like, what are you
That's
doing?
exactly what happened to me. So I literally have the manual like hearted, like favorited in my gallery
Yeah.
I love
for
that.
this shit. You know, so I can't. I'm done with that.
Dude, when it's dark too, it's like, yeah, bets are off, man.
Yes.
I'm just pressing buttons and I hope I get the sequence right.
Mashing the shit out of it like a freaking video game.
Straight up.
What would you say your favorite device is to use?
What's your favorite device?
Oof. It's
I
the
know
one
yours.
that I built a close connection to is my Panasonic DR60s. I use two of them at the same time. I have them configured a little differently, and I also have one that is voice activated. So if as long as something's happening, it's gonna pick it up. But I like to have it set up differently, both of them, because if I'm able to get something on each of them, I know that I got something,
Yeah, like
So-
it's not just it picking up a squeaky chair or like something ridiculous where it's like, because like, how sensitive do you think those things really are? Are they like, is it seem like it's pretty sensitive for the most part?
The compared to other digital recorders, I would say so. Yeah.
I think the T25, which is what Steve uses from Black Smoke,
Mm-hmm.
I find that one more sensitive. And,
Right.
I mean, to me, for some reason. But that picks up, I mean, you'll hear everything.
Yeah.
I feel like it picks up further away. I have one of those too. That was like one of my favorite, my first recorders. To me, I never picked up anything. I was like,
Right.
I'm not getting anything off of this shit.
That's the thing. You can have, different type of recorders. It's just the more repetition, the more times you use it, you build that connection with it. And
Yeah.
my DR60s, I'll put it up against anybody's digital recorder. I'm pretty sure I'll get just as much evidence as anyone.
Yeah.
Okay, you're constantly gonna get UPs on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, when we went to the poorhouse, which that video is done, and hopefully we will be releasing it by the end of January. Little
Sweet.
dropper there, where it's like
See?
we were taking our like multiple recorders of ours, which like we have like 3 or 4 different kinds. All of those were picking up things that night. And then one in particular we were using that we use all the time, which I do actually think like we build a connection to those devices that we use a lot.
Mhm.
Like it's like we're
Definitely.
putting that energy into these to work. So it's almost
Right.
probably like a beacon at some point. And it's like ours catches it, Tommy's catches it, and it's like they're going back and forth. Like they're same thing is there. It's louder on ours than it is his, and it's like that's fucking incredible shit. Like I don't know how to explain that one at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
when you catch the same thing on multiple, or catch one thing on one and then not the other, it's like
It makes you wonder, like,
What?
is it only manifesting in a certain area, and it's like you have to be close enough to it. So, like, if one of your DR60s picks it up, is it in that radius, or is it
Yeah.
just the fact that it's like it's using like that energy from that recorder, or like it's so weird to think because like then if it does pick it up on both sides of it, but you guys don't hear it, is it just a certain frequency we can't hear? Like, what the fuck is happening?
that's a good point. I don't
Essentially
know.
everything you just said.
Yeah.
It's like fuck, my brain
D,
just
all the
went
above.
so hard.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude, because if you think about it, like the footsteps, we caught them on
Mhm.
all of the recorders, including
And
the
cameras
phone
too.
cameras, but none of us heard it.
hmm and it was clear as day footsteps. Like it sounded like pitter patter, where it's like pat, 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 pat.
Right.
Where
Mhm.
did it actually occur? Did it go up the stairs, or did it occur in the middle of the room, or
Was
where
it
we were
next to us?
standing?
Yeah.
Yeah, like how did
Because like you can like
that's
on
the
all the
crazy thing.
recorders you can hear like different audio levels of it. So like on the one that was closest to the staircase, it was the loudest by far. So like it was one of those like deductive reasoning says it happened over there, but then
Right.
realistically like there's nothing over there. None of us were over there. And like even when I do my like little hippity hoppity like try my best impression, like we were like I know Randy's camera like during that same session doesn't fucking hear me do it at all. I hear like 2 creaks and I'm like actually stomping. So I was like, I don't
Yeah.
understand how that works.
My favorite with that, say like when he uses the both recorders or anybody, if we're doing like a group and we have other recorders going on, like say 3 or 4, like his recorder will say F you, and then the other recorder will be like get out, and then somebody else's recorder might get F you, and then the other one might be like leave. Like it's all essentially the same message, but said differently.
Mhm.
And I
Right.
think I find that like super cool too. And I've always assumed that just from the frequency it's picking up.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought that sometimes like the spirits aren't directly talking to you, but they're talking to other spirits?
Yeah, like just like
Yes.
like
Yeah.
we're picking up the glimpse
Using
of
your
it.
device to communicate with the other spirits that are in the building.
There's been countless times where we're investigating and we're speaking to either a child spirit or a woman spirit, and all of a sudden you'll hear either a shush or shut up or something like that, and then a male dominant figure
Yeah,
takes
like,
over.
exactly.
I've noticed that if you not, I don't know if I've noticed it like a lot of times when we're
That's
investigating,
insane.
but I have noticed it in other people's videos that I've watched that's
Yeah.
kind of happened. Definitely, I know that happens at Nunica.
Yeah, it does.
100%.
So
That is weird. That's a
typically
weird
it's that.
dynamic, isn't it?
Well, like in
Kinda
in
makes
one of the
sense for
locations that
older
I'm
time
thinking
period,
of,
I
it
guess.
just
Yeah.
seems like that dominant male figure is kind of like the protector of all the children.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, hey, we don't know what these people are up to. Don't talk to them. But like the kids, they see all these like devices that we use. We use cat balls, the REM pod,
Yeah, all really
all these
colorful
things that
shit.
light up or make
Yeah.
noises. The kids want to play with them because it reminds them of toys. And then it's like, hey, don't play with the toys, or hey, don't talk to these people. That's what I've come across.
What if they don't let them? What if that dominant spirit doesn't want them to leave? If they know maybe that would be a thing that they would do. Like, hey, do you want to like move on? And,
Fuck
Yeah.
that.
yeah, because we've come across that.
That's true.
So I mean, there's a whole bunch of different like scenarios.
Right, yeah, because I mean, like, you got to think too, like, if this like next, like, I guess you could call it limbo almost, where you're like this, if you're on this existence still on Earth, where you're just like a spirit here,
Right.
like, is there a limited number of them? Like, I can see where like sometimes like they come and go, and like intelligent spirits that have more power are able to do more things, but like if you're just like a regular old everyday spirit that's still figuring things out, like, and you're given that option, yeah, like homie that's been like here for hundreds of years or doesn't even know time is like, I ain't losing y'all. Like, fuck that. Like, I could actually like really make sense.
Mhm. Yeah, you
Like
I
nobody's
come
giving me
across-
this, like nobody's giving them that opportunity. Like hell yeah, take me to the night, buddy.
yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like I think we try to do that more often now, where it's just like, because we do encounter a lot of children spirits, it seems like, where it's like if I can give you like just like the presence of mind to feel safe enough to like want to move on, like please, like I'll be that, like hey, like I'm also a father, like don't be scared. Like I think we've said that I've said that on multiple like like of our
Yes.
investigations too.
I've
So it's
said
like
that. So maybe kids' spirits are attracted to you because of that.
They know.
yeah, I've wondered
Yeah,
that for
I
a
get that.
while.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
the kindness,
they can sense that, and they're gonna be more gravitating towards you because they already know, hey, like he's a father figure, and they can sense that. That seems to be the reason why we attract
Yeah, I seem to get like a lot
children.
of kids.
Mhm.
Yeah, we definitely do. We think we have a little kid that's attached to us. Her
Yeah,
name
I
is
think we give
Mildred.
off the welcoming, like like that very like inviting aura too. Probably like as funny as that sounds, right? It's like we can go out in public and people will walk up and talk to us, and we'll think that they know who we are, but then we'll just strike up a conversation with us, and it's like that was interesting. Like like I don't know, that was like that. I guess I know more people than I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So
So what is your favorite equipment? I totally hogged that whole
No,
conversation. I
no,
I
apologize.
was gonna say yeah. So like, what is yours?
mine is I love the good SB session. So
Yeah, it's
I just
like,
want
do you
I
guys
want to
do the
hear
SB?
spirit talk.
SB7.
Yep.
SB7, huh?
Do you guys do the Estes method where you put the headphones on and like go
Oh
full
yeah, yeah,
Western
yeah.
verse?
I love
Yeah,
doing
like
that.
exactly.
Anything where I can just hear the spirit answer back, and just maybe like their tone or their dialect, or like I don't know. I love that. I like getting that validation. And of course we like doing the Estes method, or we have this other thing where we call like the Delco
The
method,
Delco
which is like
method.
with
We
Yeah,
have
those
Delco's
those.
Oh, I
the
we
want to
haven't
try
done
goggles.
the
that.
goggles.
Delco
I
yet,
want to
but
try that
yeah.
so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love doing those because I get a lot of like say it for me.
Visions.
Sure. Visualization. Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah,
Visualizations.
you like perceive things like that aren't there. You like
Like
where it's like
yeah,
I
no,
fucking see
I get
this.
like picture, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
stuff
like
like
a
that. So
projection of like shit that like
yeah,
you're seeing or
yeah.
hearing. I mean,
Hmm.
So to me, like I like it even more because of that.
Yeah, because
mm,
the Delco goggles or experiment, excuse me, it's a cross between the Gansfeld experiment and the Estes. So
mm,
the Estes, everybody knows what it is. It's essentially the blindfold to take away that sense and to be able to just communicate with spirit. The Gansfield is where they introduced the red lights, or how they used to have with like the kind of like the half golf ball or ping
yeah,
pong
it's like the
looking
like
Yeah, the
ball
ping pong
weird
type of
ball.
looking
thing.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when Jenny uses it, I've only used it once, and me personally, I'd rather be the moderator and her go. But when you use it, you say the red light, it kind of like changes into like white because you're
Either
such
like
an into a
face.
Damn.
meditative state.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like it, for me, it'll just turn all black or all white, or I just start getting like a scene, like a picture scene.
Mhm.
Is
Yeah.
it
It's just
when you
crazy as
get the
well.
visions? Does it make you feel different at all? Like, is there like a different feeling, or do you just feel like
No,
in
at
like a
all.
trance kind of?
Yeah. I mean, shit.
I
Like
don't
that's
know.
Not, so
insane. I've
so
never.
far for me, no.
Yeah,
I
because
think I get
when
like
I do that shit, I feel the same way. Where like I go into almost like that trance, and then like I'll visualize it like stuff too, and then all of a sudden, like when I take off the headphones and I like open my eyes, I'm like, where am I? I'm in the
Yeah.
woods. Like what?
yeah,
You lose track of where you are.
Every
like
perception of
disorienting.
Yeah.
everything goes away.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess people say that they get that a lot with the Estes, but I think with the Delco, I don't really get that a lot.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't get like that disorientation.
I feel like that's more stimulating and fuck me right up. Like flashing lights, it seems like
Like,
it'd be so disorienting.
Yeah.
yeah, it's wild though. It's crazy.
Yeah, and the other reason why we love using the SB, besides like using the portal, but we
Mhm.
also use a digital recorder with the SB session,
Mhm.
and that way we're able to manipulate the speed, kind of like slow it down, so that way we can really hear what it is that they're saying. We've gotten great evidence like that before as well.
Yeah, I love that.
That's cool. We might have to try something.
Yeah,
Definitely
I mean, we
try
like
that
do like a
because-
version of that with our S box, where it's like we put a micro SD in it, and then sometimes we'll record the sessions, and then we can put it into our like media like Audacity.
It's so hard though.
But it is a lot of steps,
Because
and then you
all
have
you're
to really
doing is
find it.
you have to try to remember what you heard in the SD's method, and then listen
Yeah.
to the freaking
For the 12
Yeah.
for like the 20 minutes that you were under it, and you're like, oh god, how do I timestamp this?
I
To
still
meet
got
that?
45 minutes of this.
That
Yeah.
yeah.
That's why I like
Damn.
having the digital recorder right then and there, because you can just review your evidence right then and there, and you'll pick something up. It's awesome. It's awesome. And what about you guys? What's your go-to pieces of equipment?
Oh, I want to say our new like go-to is definitely voice recorders. It's something we've
Yeah,
gotten
we
a
never
lot
really
deeper
used to
into
use
as of
them.
recently
Mhm.
because we've been having really good success with it, and it's the most credible stuff that we've caught so far.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But the Melrem is always reliable for us too, where it's like
Yeah,
we seem to get a lot of
especially
like
because our Melrem has never gone
goes
off.
Never.
The lights have
See?
never
Gross.
gone up. Never.
I was
That's
complaining
us
about that.
too. Us too. Our
Yeah.
REM,
So if that
Steve
thing
and
goes
Mela,
off,
they
I'm gonna
swear
lose
by
my
it.
mind.
We get nothing. But
Yeah. And the
when
times
we
it does,
do get a
it's
lot
like
of hits.
But it's very, very seldom, right?
very.
What
It's
we
never happened
what we
for me.
tend to get a lot of good hits with is the cat balls.
Yeah.
We-
We started
want
using
noise
those too
test.
recently.
Those
Yeah.
happen a couple times now. That's pretty exciting.
And what we like to do is set up two kind of like side by side,
Mhm.
designate one cat ball as a yes and designate the other one as a no, and start asking yes or no questions. And we've gotten great responses like that before as
That's
well.
That is pretty fucking wild,
that's
actually.
genius. That's genius. Never even thought of that.
Yeah.
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 I mean, like realistically, like we were just jamming them in the dirt, and like they're
Throwing
not
them
going
everywhere.
anywhere. Like
We're just throwing them
if they're
everywhere,
stuck
like-
there and they go off, like that's fucking crazy, man. Like there's not like any like geo activity going on right now. We ain't got no earthquakes up here.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So it's like fuck. Yeah, but I mean like we were when we first started, we were so green that like we only really used, you know, like
EMF detector.
yeah, the EMF detectors, and like
Okay.
I don't find those as credible as I thought I did. Where it's like if I'm in the woods
We've
and I'm getting
honestly-
hits and stuff, then yeah, that seems like there's something
We've
going
gotten
on.
away from using it just because we think they're so faulty.
Yeah, the Mel meter does a great job of like sussing out stuff, but then there was I
Mel,
forgot what
yeah.
it's called, and people have been pointing it out to me recently in like posts and messages and stuff. It's like it reads like the amperage and then the electricity, or like you can like suss out which one's milligauss and which one's actual electricity going through the building. I forgot what that thing's called.
I don't know. I've never seen it.
It's new. It's new as fuck.
Yeah.
Hey.
No idea. We can come back to that later because I'm gonna stew on that forever too. But like that
It's
device,
gonna be
is something
turning
I
up
want
here.
to get.
Yeah.
And it like
Then it adds credibility.
the EMF detectors.
Yeah.
I'm strictly talking about the light up one that goes.
The
The
EI?
five
Is he
light
talking about the
ones,
EI?
yeah.
K2.
Are you
Because
talking
I
about
know-
the Eddie?
No,
you talking
the
about the
EI.
EI?
Like I know what we use the Eddie with Tommy, but it's like a littler device with like a thicker antenna.
Like
we don't use these though anymore. for
Oh,
real.
K2s. Yeah.
No, but he's
Yeah,
like,
we don't
he's
use
talking
those
about-
anymore. I don't find those to be very credible unless you're in a setting where there shouldn't be any type of
Yeah.
interference.
Yeah, like in the middle of
This
Exactly.
is like the
Sure.
legit like K2 like from their website, like the real thing too.
Yeah, Black Smoke said it. Alex Ghost Seekers Texas uses it. That's exactly who I was
Yes.
trying to refer to because I couldn't remember who the fuck showed me.
You know, I bought a new style K2. I'm gonna show
Mm.
you it now that we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I
It's
like I
good.
said, I find them to be like horseshit now, where it's like I can't really suss out what's not, you know, like what's like a false like positive, what isn't.
This is the favorite thing right here.
Yeah, that's the baby that we
Oh,
use all the
okay.
time is
The
the Mel
Melrems.
Rems.
Yeah. Mel.
I want to get that
Never
because
gone off.
I think it hasn't gone off. I think it will go
The
off more
REM
than
pod
REM
at least hasn't. Like we gotten like Mel spikes and stuff, but like the REM pod has seldomly ever gone off on investigations. And when
That's
it
why I
has,
don't want to use the REM pod anymore.
Right.
I want to
Yeah,
use
it's
that.
and then when it does though, it's like I don't have any explanation for why. It's not like it's dying. It's not like there's any reason for it to do this.
We
like,
will get a REM pod eventually.
And then the one time that I had the craziest experience with that fucking thing, my camera had died 20 minutes before it decided to go like all Satan mode and fucking tell me that it was 120 degrees in a room, and then like went all the way from green to like red in a slow fashion of just like dinging up. And all of us were like sitting there dumbfounded, and all of a sudden it just turned off, and then I turned it back on, and it like wouldn't turn the REM pod back on the back of it. And I was looking at it, and it said it was like normal temperature. Walked away for 5 minutes, looked back at it again, and it said it was 112. And I was like, dude, the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Yo, that reminds me of a bar that we investigated by my old high school. And when we turned it on, whatever, we're walking away, we're separating everything. Then there was a cold spot right around it. And when I go and I look at the temperature, of course, it said 66.6.
Yeah, 66.6.
Stop it.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking freaky.
That is really
Yeah, I think I have that picture somewhere. If it's not in my page, then it's somewhere. But yeah,
It's like
66.6.
I don't find that to be just a strange coincidence. Like that's
No,
very odd that it's like you guys you sussed out the cold spot.
Cold spots are crazy because whenever I feel one, something happens. Like when Asher Walton, I was like, it was hot as fuck in this house. Hot as fuck.
And then
like we're barefoot. And we were standing in this hallway, and I go, dude, put your hands right here. It's fucking freezing.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, no way. And he put his hands
it's like
in there.
putting
He's
your
like,
hand in an ice bath where it's like, what?
And then all of a sudden he looks the opposite direction I was, because I was looking at Jenna in the room. He was looking down the hallway. He just takes off. I'm like, what the fuck? He goes, do I just seen a shadow run?
Like, because all the doors, like you could go like from hallway, like there was like doors that went across from each other, and there was at least two of them I know through the hallway. And I saw like that, like that Vanta black where it's like the absence of black, but it's there.
Yeah.
And it was like black on black, but it looked like the features of like a kid like striding through. And I was like, no fucking way I saw that. I'm blind as shit, dude. No way.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, my experiences with cold spots, just like you guys, it sums up. My first ever paranormal experience was actually with a cold spot. So that's what this is the ghost butt story for anybody that's ever heard us talk before and get interviewed. So I'm waiting for her to get home, and usual weeknight routine was to sit on my futon and play PlayStation until Jenny got home.
Fuck yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I felt like how she's sitting right next to me. I felt like a wall of ice right next to me on this side of my body, completely cold.
Relate.
Then I was sitting on the futon. I heard the metal springs going down. And then the last thing that I remember, that it was the third sense, I saw the impression of what looked like a ghost butt sitting right next to me. So
just a butt.
Yeah. And yeah, it was just like, all right, at this point, I'm either going to acknowledge it or you're just going to go away, but something's got to give here. And I'm not going to stop playing PlayStation because I don't want to acknowledge you. So I just kept playing. And then thankfully, I heard the springs going up. The impression went away and it started getting warm again. So, that was my first ever experience. Yeah. And so many questions. I didn't know what it was.
On the fucking knee and go, what's worse than getting stung by a bee? And they're like, what? And you're like, not stopping for red lights. Smack them in the face.
Oh my God.
It's like, I know, leave. I'm playing PlayStation.
Unless you're gonna pick up a controller, get out of here.
Straight up.
Exactly.
That is
I gotta start paying some rent, man. Rent's expensive.
Straight up. That's where I said, like, if
the whole time,
a ghost ever moves into a house and decides to be a resident, like, they better be cooking, cleaning, or paying some fucking bills, because I'm not dealing with that.
No leaving the sink on, man. The water bill, crazy.
Straight no. It's still a hard nope. I'm gonna pass, but like, thanks for your opportunity.
Yeah.
You're funny. Instead of helping you clean, it's just gonna turn the water on all day while you're at work.
Oh,
Just
great.
Your
flood
water
the
bill's gonna
kitchen,
be
and you're just like, it's all great here, dude. Fucking love it.
See, that people shouldn't be scared of ghosts. It's just like a giant real life sitcom where the ghost is just like there with you at all times.
Or it's like having a very naughty puppy. Like they're
Very
fun and
naughty.
games. Like you want to go hunt them and like see them from afar until you have one.
That's exactly what it is.
It's putting up with their shenanigans.
It's all
That's how I
cool
feel
until they
like
poop on your floor.
when people like collect haunted items or they want to start collecting like haunted dolls.
Mhm.
Like I kind of feel like that. They're like, oh, I want to do that until like you get the wrong one,
Yeah,
and then what? You know, what I'm saying like
yeah. You get like Robert the
your house
doll
is
and
first.
fucking killing people, and you're like, dog. Like we're taking this way too far.
Oh, so show your
Oh, let me show you the K2 real
our
quick.
new K2.
I
Oh,
think it's
that
better
is
than this one.
actually
That
pretty
one- that
dope.
one's
I'm
in-
not
And
gonna
it's
lie.
freaking bright. It's bright as hell. Like you see this shit in the forest for real. See that?
That actually does look pretty nice. Like
It
I
tends to
like
be
that
more
it's, like,
accurate.
And you know what I like? I
readable
like that you
too.
can like stand it up like this too.
Yeah, so you
Except
don't
for,
have
like,
to like get
like
that
the OG
funky
one.
angle.
Yes, where I have to be
There
like
you go.
this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's a little bit sturdier.
How many times have you guys used it now?
I've only used it once,
Once.
and it didn't go off at all. I spiked
I
like
like that,
once.
though.
No,
Yeah.
it's like literally like that's it.
I
almost like what
like
you
hearing
want. You'd
that.
rather-
Yeah, I would rather it the first time taking it out. It's like it's not stupid going off like everything is setting it
Oh
off.
yeah.
Oh no, I had it on a school desk, all by itself, like on a complete opposite side of the room. And I guess I was talking about the desk itself because it was like the original piece of furniture off of a hurricane, like the
Oh,
only
Mhm.
school
So-
item, and it just went bloop, and then that's it.
Mhm.
It was like you're done.
This community it completely got devastated from a hurricane back in 1928, and the only surviving thing from that school was that school desk that Jenny had put the K2 on.
That is pretty
And
wild.
they kind of
man.
brought it into this kind of like
living museum.
a living museum model replica of that schoolhouse. The original school desk that survived that hurricane is in there.
That's pretty wild. And to not have it hit all night and then to have it hit on that desk too, and like having correlating
Mhm.
questions like make it go off is wild. Because that begs the question, like residual energies. I believe that
Yeah.
100%. Like you got to find like that right frequency or the right question or like hit that, like that right. I don't even know what to call it, like soft spot almost.
Mhm. Connection.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yep.
I think it's
Yeah.
So what if they don't want to answer you?
Yeah, exactly.
They get that
I
too.
believe-
I feel like that happens too, 100%. Like
yeah, I mean, who in their right mind, especially a lot of locations that have like back to back to back to back to back like nights that are
Mhm.
always booked, always all year round. Who
Yeah.
the fuck wants to talk to somebody every night and tell the same fucking thing?
Exactly.
It's like,
Exactly.
yeah, I'm here. There's 12 of us. Yellow.
oh,
All
you
right.
want us to
I
bring
think if
something
I was
up?
a spirit there, that's where I would be like throwing the whole like all those shoe boxes down. Here, look at
Like,
this
fuck
shit.
this shit,
you
dude.
know?
Let me out.
Exactly.
Oh,
you
you
asked me
want
this
to
shit
scare you?
last
Not
night.
a problem.
I already did 80 years behind these bars. Why the fuck can I leave?
That is like, yeah. Can you imagine that? That's like going through hell right there every night. Same thing.
Yeah, and we've proven that a bunch of times.
Or
Locations
spirits.
that we do events for, that we host at certain
Mhm.
locations, depending on the time of the year, activity just dies down because there's a few times of the year that we go months without going to that location, and you can tell the first like couple times back, it's hitting way more than when we
Yeah.
go like every other week.
I think that's what we
Um,
experienced at the tattoo shop. No one had ever been in there before and
Fresh energy.
like done
Oof.
that. Like people have been like, "Hi, ghosts!" Like I'm leaving.
Don't
type
move
thing.
my shit.
Yeah, and they knew the ghosts were there, but like no one's come in and like tried to openly communicate with like, "Who are you?"
And bring the tools
We're
to do
here.
it.
We're here to talk to you. Like we know you're here,
Mhm.
and that's. I feel like if we came back and sent someone else different in, like their activity might be even crazier than what we experienced, honestly, because they're like,
Exactly.
oh, you're doing the same thing. Like people can do this. Like people want to
Yeah, to
come
get
talk.
hype.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
Absolutely.
like he was saying, it's different for the places that
Washout
are
is
crazy
real.
busy because they get hit all the time, and eventually, like, they're just gonna be
I have
scared.
social anxiety, so like after a while, I just fucking turn off.
Well,
Like,
it'll
no
be
more.
like it'll be a place that's super popular, like say like the Riddle House, for example.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it could be like that, like busy, and then sometimes like just dead,
Mm-hmm.
dead at an event, and we're like, they don't always gotta answer you, you know. Just
Yeah,
sometimes
I mean, I
they just
appreciate those
tired.
downtimes too. Like it
Yeah.
makes it feel like it's more validating for when you do get the stuff that does happen. Because then at that point you're like, it's not like the fucking TV shows. Like we're sitting here making jokes with each other, sitting here in the dark. You know, like we're
Yeah.
just chilling. Like if realistically, if we worked that day, because we work full-time jobs all fucking day, and then like we go investigate at night. So it's like
Mhm.
if we do it on Friday night, it's like I just like lay on the floor and I'm like, something happened. Like record. This is gonna get edited out, dude. And like, you know, like just sit there, eyes closed, and be like, I'm just relaxing. Like this is
Yeah.
so relaxing.
Yeah, that's the thing with the TV shows. Everybody's so used to everything happening, you know, like back to back to back to back. And
Mhm.
when we get people at events, that's what they expect.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
So we
not.
try to explain to people like that, you know, especially like younger teenagers and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It don't work like that. Like we'll be here 4 hours and don't have to get anything. We might get a little blip here and there, maybe a cat ball once, or maybe it likes the energy in there and they'll just go
It's
crazy, you know.
it's that society that we live in now. It's instant
Yeah.
gratification. I need
Oh,
to.
definitely.
I'm watching this program. I'm expecting at least like 5 or 6 wow moments. No,
I
man.
mean,
Like
look
for
at like a lot of
example,
the big TV shows, like, you know, and like not only TV shows, but like the big channels too. Like they
Mhm.
don't show like a lot of the lead up or the like downtime. They'll give you like, you know, the quick intros where they'll show the place and then it'll just be like rapid fire shit. And
Right.
it's like I mean I get it, especially if you're trying to like edit it down from like 17 hours of footage. Like and you're like, okay, I don't want it to be a slow pace, but at the same time, it's like, am I being misled? Like, I believe you're being real here, but like, are we
Mhm.
being misled?
And that's the thing too, because my favorite show is Project Fear. But let's just use Ghost Adventures as an example. Okay,
Yep.
so Ghost Adventures, when they go to a location, typically they're there for a whole weekend, right?
Mhm.
Because they spend a day like interviewing like locals of the
Yeah, they're on
area, or
site for a
like
lot more time than we get.
Yeah, exactly.
right. So then they're compressing all those days into an hour show.
Or less
So
than that.
sometimes they're gonna get stuff, but the thing is, when it's like the reality, like us that we do it, the best way I can equate it to people is paranormal investigating. To me, it's like fishing.
Yeah.
You go out to go fish, you're going out there to kind of like distract yourself or get away from all your problems and have fun. If you're able to get fish, that's kind of like the extra, you know,
That is
it's you
more
had a
Yeah,
good time,
you have
or
no
yeah.
hey, I
idea
had
how
a
much I
great
love
trip.
that analogy.
The bonus.
It's the
I always
bonus
tell
or
people
the
it's like catching the unicorn, dude. Like you
No,
caught the
yeah.
proverbial unicorn.
It's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
what a, yeah, a good fishing saying is it's not about how many fish you catch, it's about the time on the boat with the people that you're with.
Exactly.
bingo,
Hmm.
bingo. Yeah, yeah, I believe that wholeheartedly, man.
Yeah.
You just you have to go and have fun, and if you're able to get something, great. If you're not, hey, at least I had a good time with my wife and my teammates and whoever else I'm investigating with.
It's an
You
adventure.
know,
Exactly. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the
It's
other
totally
thing too
adventure.
is you know, in our what goes bump in the night 305 paranormal, our names and reputations are on the line. So
Yep.
if we don't get something and we just start falsifying evidence, people are gonna know that's our
Yeah. I'd
for
rather
lack of
tell
a better words, that's our asses,
I'd
you
rather
know.
tell you
No,
I didn't get
100%.
nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
I'd
show you
rather
we didn't
put a
get nothing and
full
that's it.
video of us being complete clowns and like, you know, like making
Yeah.
bad jokes when we're
Exactly.
not
Yeah.
catching stuff than I would rather us faking anything. Cause like I always say this, like I don't understand why people fake shit when it's really happening. Like
Yeah, you
there's
don't
I
have
so
to
know.
much
fake it.
happening.
You don't have
I
to.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it
Yeah.
if like you're
If you're
your
making your
channel
living
is
off of it, it's different
directed-
for you. But
Yeah, and if your channel's directed to entertainment and like you clearly state that this is an entertainment
Entertainment
channel,
purposes, right?
like that's totally different because I get the parody ghost hunting adventure type show. I get it. That's fun. It's exciting to watch.
we literally in our intro, like the part where Riley's running away and he falls down and shit, that was
Yeah.
at Mount Cemetery when we had a night with all of it, like nothing was happening with all the homies.
We were just hanging out
And we
we're
were
filming
literally
stuff.
just chilling. And I was like, run away. I'm going to chase you with the gimbal and let's see how cool it looks. And it looked fucking awesome. We never
Yeah,
really
yeah.
used it for anything. And then one day it just happened. Oh, it would look cool in the intro.
Bingo.
You know, it's like and like if we ever, once we do start the Patreon, if we ever decide to do like back behind the scenes footage of us being the clowns that we are usually, where it's like, yeah, you want some paranormal tootin'? I got you, dude.
Paranormal bloopers are the
Bloopers.
best.
Oh,
Oh
so
my
bad.
god.
Yeah.
So
Oh my god.
we have plenty.
I'm
If
not
you
really
you do
freaking out.
investigations, you get like the dumbest things caught on camera, or like just I don't know. I think that's the fun. That to me is the best part.
It's
Yeah,
pretty
So-
I
great.
mean, we love to leave like that type of stuff into our videos because literally
It
the
truly
bloopers
makes
are
me
just
feel like
us
us.
being us, like in the moment.
Exactly.
Like it's the real thing. Like
We're
we're trying to tell you, we
shop
don't script any. Like literally, our intro, we fumbled it. We had rehearsed it.
Oh, we fumbled the
literally
fuck out of
rehearsed
it.
and we fumbled the fuck out of it.
Our own
And
very
literally
backyard.
at the end of it, we go,
One
no
take-
cut.
One take
We're
wonders.
one take wonders. We just kept everything.
Exactly. That's
Like,
my
fuck it,
favorite.
it's fun.
I just love those moments because it's something that you're gonna always remember.
Mhm.
Like one that comes to my mind right now, and Mela, I love you. But when I dubbed
my
her
God.
Moped Mela, that nickname, it came from when we were investigating. It was us two and Stephen Mela, and we were investigating. We had some friends that came over as well. And then all of a sudden, well, you know what? I'll let you tell your story because you were with her, and then I'll tell you
No,
me and
just say it.
Steve.
You're saying it.
Okay. So they're
Just say
what
it.
we decided to do was like the girls go and investigate by themselves, and Steve and I, we were watching kind of like from a command center. We had the location kind of like rigged with cameras, so we
Yeah.
were watching the TV just to see the footage, and then Steven and I were actually in the middle of that, also doing an SB session as well. So we were pretty much busy, and then something happened where it sounded like a noise responding to her trying to get it to make a noise, and then all of a sudden you just hear what sounded like Mela was like nope, and she was like
she
bye.
Goes, yeah, she goes bye, and then it was a 2-story jail, right?
Yeah.
And she starts going towards the direction of where I thought the noise came from, which it did kind of come from that direction.
Yeah.
But I thought she was gonna go like to it, but she bypassed where I thought it came from, and then started going down the stairs like fuck this shit. And I was like, yo, where you going?
Yeah.
And then
Oh
I
my
stayed
God.
up there. I was like, no, I'm not running away. This is what I'm here for. And then
So-
she was like all the way downstairs, and she's like, did you guys do that? Did you guys hear that? And I'm upstairs like, where the hell is this noise at? Like, where'd it come from?
So Steve hit the nail on the head. So we're looking at the monitor and we see Mela, what looked
But that
like
shit was so
she got the star power from like Super Mario and started hauling ass. And yo, she left Jenny up there.
Yeah. And then the other girl that was with us, she was in between. She just followed Mela. I don't know. She didn't know what the hell was going on.
It was flight or
one person ran and the other person ran with them, and I was going. And I was like, "Yo, wait, you guys are going downstairs."
Like,
No,
wait.
that's not what I
Yeah,
want. I stayed
she
upstairs.
left because she saw Mela leave.
Yeah.
And we're looking at the cameras, and then like you just hear bye, like the longest bye ever, and then she finally like gets to us. Me and Steven are dying laughing.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
funny.
that's like one of the funniest bloopers that
That
I'll
show's
ever
best.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. So we always we like to ask this question every single time we have someone on around the hour mark, actually. and that is, what is your dream location? Say you can go anywhere in the world. We'll go a week. Every paranormal device you could ever imagine.
As long as you want to investigate.
Where's that location?
I think me would be Penhurst.
Penhurst is always a great one.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say it's so
Really,
massive.
really, really.
Like I
Because of that.
adore like asylums and like jails and
Yes.
big like super max prisons. Like it's
Yes.
fucking cool.
They just have this
Hell
weird
yeah,
allure because you know
my
the
favorite.
terrible things that happen there, but it's like they're such immaculate like building structures.
I know. I love the the architecture. Like I love that about it.
It's funny though, like normal people, they would try to walk away from that, and here's us like, oh, let me.
It's
get
like an
closer.
enigma though, where like
How
my
long can I stay
brain,
here?
like I want to know what it's like on the inside of this place, but I'm not fucking stabbing somebody. Like, you know.
I want to pay for a ghost tour.
Shank. Yeah, no. Ooh, that's not
I mean, just like
a.
Jeffrey Dahmer somebody really quick, and then we'll find out what it's like on the inside. Like,
Yeah.
no thanks. Like, none of that sounds like a great time at all.
For me, I have two spots, but one of them selfishly is because I want to check out like all the anime stuff. I'm really
Yes.
big into like Dragon Ball and One Piece and Bleach and all that. So Tokyo, just to see what paranormal stuff they have there. But selfishly is because I want to check out all the cool stuff that I like. But if it's a location that I want to go to like Ireland.
Right.
And
Yeah.
check out like all the the castles and things like that. Like
Hell yeah.
somewhere overseas, I think would be awesome to go to.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Europe.
we just talked to the Boozy Bros, and he went to Japan and he did where they filmed the Grudge movie. And he said that place is fucking spooky as shit because it's like
Japan got a lot of
public
places.
land at this
Definitely
point.
check out his video because
And it's
crazy.
really, really cool. And not only that, like I've heard that I've because I'm the same way. Like I have Grimjow literally from Bleach like tattooed in my arm. Like
sick.
I fucking love anime. Like it is my shit whack too. But like,
He loves it so much he's drinking this shit.
straight up, that's the fucking bomb though.
This tastes really good.
But not for nothing, this is their best flavor. It's strawberry lychee.
Definitely.
So yummy.
Definitely is. But like it's something about like different cultures for me where it's like if you hear like spirits come through with the accents or like you get like the native tongue or something, like especially here if we got any Native American come through on the spirit box where it's like a completely different sounding language than what we know, it's like that is so much more credible than what people think where it's like, hi, it's cool, but like if I get like something that like is literally like, oh, that's true to form, like I shouldn't be getting that here. Or if it's like I'm getting German in the woods right now in a Muskegon township, like no, what?
Yeah.
Like radio don't do that.
The closest that we've ever come to that. So Florida, obviously before was with the Native Americans, the Seminoles pretty much are prominent where we're at. But we've gotten, when we did a like burial mound, we've heard like war chants.
That's so cool.
The drums,
the drum, right? The drumming.
Drums. We have gotten. You're talking about the cemetery, right?
Correct.
We have gotten somewhere else where it is, I guess saying something in native language. I don't know what it says, and we've tried to like figure out and look at it online to like see exactly what the word is, and I don't know, but that's super interesting. I would love to know what it was.
Yeah, our good friend Dan Holroyd of Southern Michigan Paranormal, I think that's what it is, right? SMP. Yeah, he was telling me a story around the campfire when we went to Eden Springs, me and my wife, and we did an investigation there. And that place is cool in its own right, but that's totally for a different topic. But he was telling me that he was supposed to be filming a movie up north somewhere, which it's I think that's closer to like what tribe is that up there?
There's a lot of them.
Is it Ojibwa?
It could be Ojibwa.
I think it was Ojibwa. I'm not I don't remember completely, so don't quote me on it. Not 100% sure. Like we're gonna up top. But he said that while he was filming, like the the movie, like there was a thick mist that had rolled in over the bay, and you know, he had his spirit box on him, and he just decided to pull it out, and they were sitting around the fire like how we were, and then he was listening to spirit box, and he heard like 3 words come through, and it was straight up like, because he has some native in him, he recognized the words but didn't know what the meaning was, because he recognized like the tone and like the tongue it used. So when he
Right.
looked it up, it like was actual like words, and it had like correlated to like the location he was in, and it's like, how? You know, like, how does that work? Like, to me, that just like it solidifies the fact that S boxes and spirit boxes, all of them in a whole, are not fake. Like, it's something to do with the radio frequencies. Because even Tommy, like our good friend Tommy Tombstone, he'll in his videos he'll use like an old style like like the turnstile radios and just tune it just
Oh,
with his hands.
Yeah.
And there's no manipulating that inside of it because it's a fucking wooden box with a radio.
yeah.
Like,
I love that. That's what I love that.
in my mind.
Yeah. I love hearing like if like that you can catch like some native tongue or whatever. Like that's I want to hear that.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm.
And that to me it always blows my mind. I'm always like, oh shit, did you hear that? Because
See,
it's something
really-
new every time.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah.
like shout out our friend Helena, but
Oh yeah.
she thinks that like language is universal once you reach
Yeah, like the
spirit
barriers
Yeah.
are off at that
because they
point.
don't necessarily hear your words. Maybe they feel that like the energy you're giving out, and they like can decipher it.
Or
through
we
that
just
or
got like
something.
a brain cipher
Oh,
that
you have
like
to go
speaks in that
Watch her
frequency.
video with her. The analogy
We broke
that
it
she
down
gave-
pretty hard in that.
Yeah, we broke it down pretty hard, and it made so much more sense because like if I was to go to Japan or like Russia,
I
or
can't say other than
Poland or
konnichiwa.
Germany, France, like Spain, I can't talk to any of these people.
No.
Like I wouldn't. Who most likely I'm trying to talk to a spirit from years and years and years ago. They don't speak English, or at least this tone of English. Like, how are they ever going to understand me? But if I'm getting responses back in English, it's like, oh, okay, well, it
Right.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, and then that begs the question too, like when we hear the voices that are in like different dialects and stuff, it's like, is this like what we would perceive as like, you know, like the time slips or like the residual energies, you know, like what begs the question, what are the differences in these spirits? Like, why are we getting like the intelligent people talking to us? Why is it that sometimes we go into certain locations and only speak to that spirit? But then it's like, why don't you leave if you have the intelligence to speak to me here? And then you start wondering, well, I also have to address him in his like time, like the time frame that we addressed him in because we thought that's what he's from. So if it's like Mr. Certain Sir, you know, like then it begs the question, like, oh, well, if I got to talk to an intelligent spirit that can go anywhere, then that's like cream of the crop spirits. And then if I talk to a spirit that's
Like,
chained somewhere,
like
you know,
the
that's
elite.
intelligent still, like that's pretty good. And then you get the like random like words that pop through, like that's still cool. So it's like, why the fuck are there differences? Why aren't they all just the same? Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
Ooh, it's plenty to ponder. But going into one of the things that you say, why don't they leave? So we've actually had an investigation, Jenny and I, where we spoke with Spirit, and they didn't want to leave because they were scared of the repercussions for their actions when they were alive.
Oh, so they still had that like the holding on
Remorse.
to like their like mortal
Yeah.
doings. That's interesting as fuck. Because you know, like I wonder, like when we transition, like is it just like a blank slate, or do we get all the answers to
Let
everything?
me
You
ask
know,
you
like what the
this.
fuck?
What did that person do something that was known in history that was bad, or was it good that they did? And they're like, do you know?
Like completely organic person that never had come up before too. Like
Yeah.
what's
we
the
don't.
context here? Yeah.
We've never come across this individual before.
Yeah, and this is a place that we investigate frequently.
Okay, yeah, that's even more
So-
fucking
That's what I
wild.
wanted to know if you like knew who the spirit was a little bit.
Yeah,
So
if they were
That's-
like a
that's-
well-known
we-
serial
that's
killer, it's like
super-
shit.
Oh no! I mean, I think it was just a random. So what it was is we were communicating with a child, a boy, and at one point, remember how you were saying earlier, like one spirit, like if they're communicating to each other and probably like say like, "Hey, shut up, stop talking." So in this case, that happened with this situation where there was a male spirit telling the child spirit to like stop talking to us, and it stopped. Like it completely stopped. And we were doing EVPs and we were doing an SP session at the same
Wow.
time, like back and forth. And I was using the obelisk. So we had all those three like giving like correlating responses. And it basically that male dominating spirit said it to stop. And then when it stopped, we're like, well, who are you? You know, like, why are you doing that? And it said it was that was their son. I was like, wait, is that your son or whatever?
Oh shit.
And he didn't want to move on because he killed his son. And he
Oh,
didn't want to
shit.
face that.
And
So
didn't
he was
wanna
like
lose
in his
them.
own like purgatory hell.
Fuck,
And
dude.
in that situation, he made me feel like that was the first time it ever happened to me. That's the only time it's ever happened to me since so far. I got like a crazy overwhelm. Like we started figuring out like the story.
Yeah.
Like I got just like a huge like sadness came over me and I just started crying, like bawling. Like I was like, wait, this is what you feel like? I was like, get off me.
That's
And then like
overwhelming as
kind of
fuck.
slowly stopped. And then I told him, I like when that happened, I was like, do you want me to pray for you? And he said, yeah. So I just like started praying and I was like, if you see a light or something, just try to go in it. Yeah, but he was very hesitant, and then that's it. It stopped, and we've never come across that spirit again.
That's interesting as hell. Like I love that though, in all honesty, because like that is very crazy. Because I never actually thought about that. Like, what if like some of these like anchors aren't really like these like proverbial like chains that are like holding people to places? It's like
a conscious decision.
Exactly, like a very conscious decision to like hold on to a piece of something that you like realistically when you move on, like you would think that you let go of everything. But like I guess like if we're transitioning and holding on to certain things, especially if you're like, I have unfinished business, like I was supposed to be the star running back at Stanford. Like you know, it's like I'm coming back. Like I'm coming back. But like you're not like I'm ready to move on. Like I'm gonna go fucking be the running back at Stanford and go like run plays like on the field as a ghost. Like I don't know, like shit like that sounds like very interesting to me because it's like we don't really know what the limitations really are. Like there's no set in stone. Like here's the rules.
Right.
You don't know until you pass. You
know? To me, they have to be intelligent though, because if it's like a residual. Like there's spirits that don't know that they've passed and they continue on with their daily routine. You know, like they'll go and sit down with their cup of coffee reading the newspaper, you know, or go to work or go to the park or you know something, but they think that they're doing that even though they've passed. We've come across that as well too.
Yeah, and I mean, shoot, like think about it too. Like a lot of these places that we do go to, like realistically, there's been a lot of foot traffic. Like people have traveled and like lived and like realistically been around these places, and like they had the routines, and they've probably imprinted their own energy into these places. So I don't think it's that out of the question that like when we get like certain like blips and things like that, that might not be like noises that are audible sounds and shit to like make out.
I kind of said this
but
before,
it could be.
Like if think about it, like one place that me and Trevor's spirit could end up being, you know, attached to is the hockey rink. We spend so much time there. We've had so many memories there. Like over the years, it's meant so much to us, and you know, it's like a
good friend of ours says it's haunted, and we were like, how? But like, I believe him because like there is actually weird shit that happens there.
But you like
if you leave that energetic thread there,
anywhere, it would probably be the hockey rink or to the water somewhere where I was. My favorite fishing spot or something. Like I don't know.
Or work, you know.
Yeah.
Your everyday work, you know. You're there 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, or sometimes you know more if you're doing OT. You have 6-day work weeks and stuff like that. And in my job, and his job, he's starting to notice it. But you get like things, and it's just like an energetic imprint that's left there from somebody doing the same thing over and over again, walking the same hallway every day. And then you might just see it's like a kind of like a thing. Maybe that person is still even alive. It's just their energies there from doing that like 30 years until they retire, you know?
I swear to God, tools come up missing all the time in our shop because it used to be like a production plant. And like, I'll go to grab like a socket or something and I'll be like, motherfucker, like I didn't take this out. Nobody's moved it out of this cabinet. Like, what the fuck? Why is this not in here?
Yeah, it's because
I believe it. I believe it.
Yep. Straight up.
Work at work, so not to give where I work, but essentially I work at a for a bank.
Mm.
Um, and I was closing this like the safety deposit box area where like the folks go into their boxes and things like that.
Yeah, the
Oh,
Dude, I
valuable
bet you
shit.
those places are so freaking haunted, man. People leave valuables in there that they're
Giving
so
boxes.
Oh,
expensive.
you didn't even think about that. Yes, because I had asked them, I was like, why?
Spirits are there protecting their valuables. It could be. It could very well be.
Hmm.
So I'm closing the door that encloses that area, and I heard hi,
Nope.
hey.
Close that fucking door.
No, my first instinct was to reopen it because
Because if
I
I try
thought
to in
that
there, they're gonna die.
there could have been somebody that was trapped in there. Yeah, and you're
Yep.
gonna run out of oxygen in
Oh,
there.
jeez.
And I go and I look, there wasn't anyone there.
Fucked up.
But I swear to you, I heard it like in my ear. Another thing that happened there, someone left their like walking cane, which is weird
Oh, this
because
is so weird. When he told me this, I
That
was
is
like,
interesting.
no,
you-
it's very that was random, right? Like a walking
Yeah,
cane.
like,
Like,
well, you
you
would
needed
think that
that.
they would need it because it's a walking cane.
That's what I found was very
okay,
strange.
Opened
you
up
walked
box
in
10's
there
got-
with the walking cane, and then
That
you
was
walked out
weird.
of there without the walking cane. And see, like that's why everybody automatically assumes like Miami, it's everybody's are liars and fraudsters because he
That's
just
some
walked
like
out of
heist
there like,
level
hey,
shit,
I'm good.
dude.
I was like, shit, I lost my insurance.
But yeah, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna leave the cane in our back room, and just in case if he shows up again, then we'll give him the cane. Steve, I have taken my DR
he has.
there.
I was just gonna write
I
that.
Um,
love that.
so then all of a sudden the cane just like gets thrown halfway over to the room.
Yup.
There was no one
Yeah.
in there because
Yup.
in order for us to go into that back room, being that you have access to funds,
It's pretty fucking
you
secure.
have to
I
go in there
imagine.
with two people. It
Yep.
can't
Yeah,
be just one person by themselves. At that, I know because I kind of am a supervisor there. I go in there with one other person, and my
Damn.
sitting area is in front of that back room. So I would know if somebody was going in there. Nobody was there, and that cane just flew by itself.
That's
Of
insane.
course, when I went to go ask my supervisor if we can see the footage of it, it was like staticky. It was distorted.
Yeah, it was distorted and wasn't there. Of course, dude. Ah, that's nuts.
Have you seen that
Mhm.
happen quite often in your footage? Like you see something happen and you know it happened, and then you go back into the film and it's fucked
File
up.
corrupted, or like there's like some type of
that-
distortion in the photo or video.
Yeah, that happened to me at I had my whole SD card just go to shit.
In
And
your shirt.
Yeah, I had that happen here in Waverly. And also that happens to me a lot on my phone.
Yeah.
This like constantly happens to me on my phone. I don't know. Does that happen to you guys? Or like I'll start recording my phone and it goes like,
We lost an
no, it just
entire
starts like
investigation.
freezing.
Yeah.
It starts like freezing and just like acting up, and then it just say like camera malfunction, and I can't use it at all. I'll have to like I'm like, give me your phone, and I'll start like recording off his. And then
What kind of
if
phone do you
nothing
have?
what is this? SD
The
S22.
the Samsung S22.
Yeah, but even with the
Shouldn't do
prior
that.
two
Yeah,
ones,
Couldn't
that's
do
happened.
that.
It's a good phone. It shouldn't be doing that.
It's no,
Yeah,
it's
shit.
happened to the past two phones I have, and it depends on the location. Like if I feel just weird, so like the Daring Estate, which I mentioned when we first did like the ghost event where I started with where I introduced myself to War Party and stuff.
Yeah.
That place, they have a back bay, and it leads out to the ocean, right? That back area is so energetic. There's so much energy there that you can feel it in your body. Like it feels just like goosebumps everywhere. And if I want to take it's a beautiful setting and everything.
Yeah.
Outside, I'll start like my phone and I'll take it. It'll just like beep, my phone will just like shit on me. Like it always happens there. There's a few locations where that happens a lot. And
weird.
it's happened with multiple phones, not just this very one I have. Like I had the previous version of this one,
Mhm.
and it'll always be at the same places. So I don't know if it's me because I'm like, does your phone like doing that? And his phone doesn't do that. I'm not sure if it's because I'm holding my own phone for some reason. Like again, like the whole connection thing.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
I'm
mean,
like,
I have trouble transferring files all the time off of my phone to like get them on because I record directly off of my iPhone, and
yeah,
I
I record a lot too.
constantly will have issues with it transferring files for no reason. And there shouldn't be any issues. Like it's made for this, and then I buy all
Yeah.
the lightning adapters and fucking Apple bullshit where it's like, come on, dude, like no,
Yeah, like we use little like flash drives. They go
directly
they're
into
like
our phones and stuff.
Yeah.
Type C and USB, boom, right into the
Yeah,
computer.
so it's just like drag drop done, drag drop done.
Yeah.
But like I don't know. I've had like a half of investigation just get corrupted. We had one full investigation get corrupted, and that was one where I felt like I was getting affected, where I was like talking crazy, like
That's the
asshole-ish.
infamous
The
wallet
Nunica,
stolen
yeah, the
night.
wallet stealing night, like that was wild as fuck. So it's like I don't know. And then when we went to Eloise Asylum, we took a photo. There was a duplicate photo that showed up in the camera roll, but instead of it being like a normal photo, it looked like somebody had taken acid and thrown it on the bottom of the photo, where it was like all like that cool film wash and shit where it was like
Yeah.
bubbly.
No idea.
Bubbly.
Just
Yeah.
showed
And
up in
it
the
looked like
camera
somebody
roll.
like ripped it apart, and it was like, what? And you know, like the static lines through it too. And it's like, I don't, what? Like you didn't take two pictures. You took one picture, and there's no reason for it to
Wow.
duplicate itself and be all fucked up for the second one.
No, actually,
Yeah.
what happened
Wow.
is Jenna took 3 photos, and then somehow the next day that photo showed up in the camera roll,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
and then she had taken a 4th one, apparently,
Didn't though.
but it
She
was,
didn't though.
but she did, and I don't know how to really explain it.
It was one of the most weird anomalies that we've seen, other than losing footage, or like we've had audio anomalies during the podcast and stuff like that, where it's like I just can't explain what this is.
Yeah, it just showed up in the camera roll, like it was there, it wasn't there, and then it was there. I don't.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I guess
It's on our
the
Facebook
lost-
somewhere. Like I always have trouble finding it because it happened like 3 years ago now, almost, and it's just like buried in the infamous
In the black
Social
hole that is
media hole.
old social media.
in the cloud.
We're doing a way better job of documenting and keeping things fresh and current for the YouTube and stuff like that, and other like sites where we
But
can pin stuff.
early
But that
on-
was not
early
known
on
until
in the
now.
show. We had no idea.
No, I still barely know how to do any of it.
You know what I was gonna tell you, talking about that, on your link tree, I was trying to get to your YouTube and it
Mhm.
wasn't working. So take a look at that.
I don't remember the last time I actually.
We need to
Updated that.
revamp that one.
Just-
I had trouble with
telling
it
you.
too, but it was weird because sometimes it would work and sometimes it wouldn't. So I was like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I don't know how.
I don't know if it's YouTube or not. I was automatically I was like, fucking YouTube.
Fucking
Maybe not.
YouTube. That again too, though. I've seen it like take away like subscribers and take away like video views and then put them back, and it's like, the fuck are you doing with me, YouTube? Like I'm trying to work here.
Like for instance, on
Yeah,
Friday,
yeah.
I think we had
You're hurting my
15
feelings.
people watching the premiere.
Yeah,
and
that was
after the
one.
video was done.
So we had
it's-
7 views,
We had 7 views,
but
It's like,
15 people were in the premiere the whole video, and it's like, YouTube, what are you doing?
No, but it changes later because that I've seen that happen.
That's happened to us.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
weird. I don't know how.
It always
that
trips
works.
me out because I'm like,
Yeah, for us it was like 4, and there was like 17 or 18 people in the chat, but it said 4. And then once the video finished premiering, I like did a refresh,
Or uploads and stuff like that.
and
That's the thing.
yeah, like I gave it a few minutes after, and then boom, it was like 30 something. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
like there we go, it's better. That's what it should be. And like realistically, it's not from an egotistical point at all either. It's like I just want people to see this because some fucking crazy shit happened.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the like. I hope people watch it.
I want it in front of the viewer's eyes
Like-
because, like, dude, it's crazy.
Like, I'd be lying if I said I didn't. If only one person watched my video when I released it, I would be upset. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I would be upset. I worked hard.
Yeah, I spent a lot of
Yeah,
time.
I know
on it.
that is a thing. Yeah, with the editing and everything.
Mhm.
But I try not to get let. I can't let that bother you. You know what I'm saying? Like if eventually, like
No.
maybe you know how many. You know what I do now when I look at YouTube videos? I'll look exactly like when they load it, and I'm like watching some 9-year-old video. You know what I'm saying? And they probably got like fucking 13 views or whatever, and I'm here sitting there 2024 watching it. And I was like, yeah,
Yeah,
you
like,
can't
I
let
see,
it like
you gotta
bother
start
you. You know
from
what I'm saying? people
Like,
watch it
if-
like whenever, you know.
Like if we
Yeah.
started back and like if we like, I'm pretty sure you do have a playlist of just our investigation videos. Like you can see like the beginnings where it's like the shoes are the main character. Like there's a lot of crotch shots. You
It's
know, it's
really
like
dark.
really dark, bad.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
audio is very not fucked with at all. There's
The
no
format's wrong.
background.
The video's this big and it's just black screen the rest of the way.
Yeah, so, and it's like, oh, we've come a long way from that to what it is now for sure. And it's like people are always like, "What do you use?" And we're like, "CapCut," and everybody's like, "What?" And it's like, it's
Yeah.
not it to make it look good like that. Actually, was a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
But
You
it
get
just
used to
took a
it.
lot of time to get exactly to get
It's-
used to it.
It's just learning
Yeah.
whatever all of the functions are, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? And if I can't figure
Exactly.
something out, I literally go to YouTube and type in what I'm trying to find, and guaranteed someone has made a video doing it, and then you learn how to do it and you're like, oh my god, it's so cool. I love it. It's so
Yeah,
much
sure.
fun.
That's
Like-
literally what I use now, CapCut.
Right.
Yeah,
I love
sometimes
CapCut.
you just need those crotch shots, you know.
No, let me tell you.
Sometimes
It was
do,
funny.
yeah.
Mela bitched at me not that long ago. She was like, "Hey, we're gonna have to work on your camera angles," and I was like, "Dude, I didn't even know I was pointing the camera
Oh,
in a certain direction." I was just like, you know, we're like, it's dark. I'm like, we're trying to get our shit together, and I was like, "Nope, gotta edit that out. Gotta edit out." That's just like
camera views,
camera-
yeah,
camera angles. Gotta organize it. I'm trying to do an investigation. I'm filming and I'm constantly like
lot.
trying to focus
It's
here,
a
and then
lot.
you gotta like be like, am I looking at this guy's like butt or something like that? Like too much shit,
When
scratch
shit's
your ass, I
constantly
don't want to catch
happening,
it on the
it's like-
camera.
so much crap. I gotta like pay attention.
Right.
to
Yeah,
it.
you're like not paying attention to the phone because you're trying to be like present.
Yeah, exactly. I'm focused.
And then
It's
you
true.
realize you've just missed exactly what everyone was. You're like, oh yeah, the camera's over here.
Like, oh shoot, like I got or like we like to do this where it's really funny on the Poorhouse because there's a lot of it where we're listening back to EVPs instead of like getting like a cool shot of something or like going around the group and like, you know, like isolating the audio later or something. Like it's like, hey, look at my neck. You know, just get up in there, like just look at my face really close.
Yes.
For real.
Did you wonder what the inside of my ear looks like? Here you go.
Yeah, did you know I have a tattoo back here? Like you do now.
Yeah, that's exactly. I'm like self-conscious about that. And I'm like, I want trying to hear like the EVP, and I'm like this going in there, and I'm like, it's all like just there. I'm like, can't stop.
Oh,
doing
my
that.
I can
Stop doing that
see
shit.
into
yeah.
the windows of your soul.
Yeah.
Oh, easily.
It's just terrible.
We used to think it was taboo as fuck to like videotape each other with cameras in our hands.
We thought that was a thing.
Like we couldn't
Totally made up this whole like filming myth that you couldn't film someone holding a camera.
and then we would watch videos together and they would be doing it and we would just be like, they're doing it wrong. Until finally we're like, okay, everybody's doing this. What are we doing?
Everybody's doing that. Like that's
Freaking
all.
noobs.
It's so funny. Like I was thinking about that. People are still doing that around. Like you see everybody doing this shit. Like yeah.
Yeah,
But I like it now.
honestly, I thought it was just like against the rules. We're like only one person can film at a time. Like
Nah.
Mm.
Everybody's filming at
Sure.
all times.
yeah,
'cause you
now we're
never
like,
know.
if you're gonna come on an investigation with us, like we're bringing a friend, like you have to film something, even if it's only
Yeah.
5 minutes of it. We need something from you, just one
Yeah.
angle, different angle.
Just one
Perfect.
good angle. Not a
Oh, you got to get my
fucking
good side
crack.
now.
Yeah,
That's funny you say that. You know, we film with this lady from Univision every once in a
Mhm.
while, and her husband is the cameraman, and she goes ham on him. She's like, "Did you get my good side? Did you get my good side?" And he's like, "Yes, I
Oh,
got your
Lordy.
good side."
Yeah, half the
But-
time, like the only thing Riley does is he'll be like, "Turn that fucking light down." Like it is way too bright.
Oh, that's me. Oh, I'm like
I'm like,
sensitive.
no, you should see what I'm filming right now. It's just light refraction.
It's just big red balls.
That's me. I can't. I hate that because I feel like I'm blind. I can't see anything. I'm like, ah.
Do you guys like to do investigations with night vision, or is it like you guys use like a light source itself too?
Me night vision.
Night vision.
Just mainly just like dark as fuck, like we see through the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're trying
Exactly.
to see if we can see shadow figures as well. And
Yeah, I
once
like
we
that.
get our eyes
Just
acclimated to the surroundings, you'll see it. Like there was one night that we stayed overnight in a railroad museum, and I told her, "You look to the west, and I look to the north." and see what we see. And we were like completely in awe by the amount of shadow figures that we kept seeing. It was like
That's
if they
nuts.
were like ants, like they
Yeah,
look like little
walking
crackheads,
across,
like
One
crackheads.
of this, and I'm just like
Yeah,
sitting
it's
there
like
like,
this
oh
can't
my
be
god, it's
happening.
crazy.
You know, like you
Huh?
think if you see one, you know, you're like, that's weird. Like maybe I'm just seeing things, and then you see a bunch of things like that, and you're like, I got like
Yeah,
this can't be real.
that's what we like to do. We like to sit in a place and just like
Just watch.
just watch,
Yeah, just feel
listen, and see what
everything
happens.
around you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm.
No equipment. Well, for a camera, just to see if we can capture anything, but no equipment, nothing.
Just
Just
sit there in the dark,
just
see what
chill.
happens.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder too, like if you have too much equipment, like all that, like you know, like
Mhm.
just like electricity, like floating around, and is like pushing them away too sometimes. So it's like I believe that 100%, where it's like minimal
Yeah,
investigations are still really fucking credible too.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Because if they're smart enough, like I've gotten answers on, say, like the obvious, whatever it will say something referring to the camera, like stop recording or something like
Mhm.
that, and it's not gonna do anything. So it knows what you're doing.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like I'll turn around, like it's something's going off, and then when I try to film it, it won't do it anymore until like I'm like, okay, over here, and it's like go back, like toying
camera
with you,
shy as fuck.
because I don't know. Because at the end of the day, it's like I don't have you're not gonna get me on camera if I don't want you to. I guess
Right.
they don't have
It's like
like
I ain't
that's
giving
what
you
I'm saying. Like
consent.
they don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not
No,
your
they
monkey.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm not your monkey.
we
Not my
always say
circus.
too, like we're not here to like treat you like a circus animal where it's like do a flip for me,
No,
monkey.
it do be feeling like that sometimes.
Sometimes when it's 4 in the
Yeah.
morning and you're like, I'm out of like really intelligence intelligence in
I've
general.
used up my intelligent questions for the
So it's
night.
just like, can you make a sound? How old are you? Can you make a sound? Can you make a sound?
touch the cat ball, touch it, do it again.
Move that
Do it now.
thing.
If that's really you, do it again.
Do it.
Yeah,
Do
and
it
it's like
now.
so bad though. Like it makes me feel like, yeah, this is not a circus. Like we're not treating like these are people. Like you guys are people like we're speaking with. Like I want to address you as such, but I know like I think ghosts have anxiety still because it seems like realistically, like sometimes they don't want to talk to you. But then at the
Yeah.
same, flip coin, probably the same goes for like maybe when you do get like a really talkative spirit, it's because they really, really do want to talk to you and they're very energetic, and that's why you're getting all that energy. Like I don't know, it seems like if the shoe fits, you got to wear that.
That's true.
No, and Trevor, I do appreciate that ideology because a lot of people tend to forget like these were people. Like
Yeah.
treat them
Mhm.
with respect.
Mhm.
Stop like bullying and antagonizing and thinking you're looking cool just to get like clickbait, or clicks or whatever.
Mhm.
Like treat these people with respect, and you'll get all the evidence that you want. Like we've the infamous riddle house that we do. A lot of people, their go-to thing, and even like famous people, their go-to thing was the bully method. And I spoke to the spirit that's there with respect and on command. Hey, Joseph, can you please say hi to Jenny for me? Hi, Jenny, like that.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah,
get
like what?
responses like that.
Like it spirit schooled us. That spirit, that particular spirit,
Yeah.
super friendly with us. In that place, he never fails to come out. Like he'll never. I guess we built that relationship with him so much
No,
that
I
he was
truly
always in
think
our.
you can make a connection with the spirit to like. I know Paranormal Patch has talked about it when she was on with us. A lot of our guests have talked about it that they have a spirit that they are personally connected with, and if they go visit them, they will have a connection almost immediately, and they can say their names, they will answer everything on command as long as they bring what they like or like do the thing that they
The
appreciate them
summoning.
for. You know what I mean? Like there's an
Yeah.
appreciation there almost.
That's who we have that rapport with Joseph from the Riddle House, and it was amazing because even Jenny was like, "Hey, I brought out my XLS camera, and if you can come out for me, I'll record the screen session that you come out in, and I'll show it to you. I'll play it back and I'll show it to you.
Like I'm talking to him like he's ready, like somebody signing. But I do that because that's how I talk to spirit normally. Like if it was
Right.
a regular person, and sure enough, he showed up. I explained it. I said, if you come out, I can either see you as, like a stick figure or possibly an orb. Try it out, because that was new to me at the time. So I just want to see if it'll even work. And I got like a black orb come out, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna show you. So I was like, I'm recording here, and I don't know if they're looking or not, but I kept my promise.
Yeah.
If I say something, I'm gonna do it. I don't care how crazy I look.
That's how we like always like to stick to it. Or it's like, hey, like I try to be a man of my word, but like the one time that I was like completely like out of my mind and tired, and I just didn't think what I was doing, when I was like, hey, can you like make this REM pod go off? And this was at Nunica, like one of the most like infamous ones around West Michigan. Like it goes off, and I was like, cool. All right, dude, it's starting to rain. Let's leave. I was supposed to leave a present, but I didn't, and I didn't have my wallet when I got home or the next day, and I was like, I lost that bitch. Like it was in my back pocket the whole night. There's no way it fucking came out of my pocket. Like I have no idea.
It wasn't in my car.
Nope, and it was just gone.
Never found.
So I was like, all right, now we have to like straight up follow through. Like I don't want to lose my wallet again, dude. That was fucked up.
Yeah.
And like, it could be like coincidence, but like it also was very weird because it was like I had a tracker in it. Tracker failed. Like everything failed about it.
Oh wow.
It's fucked up.
Your story, it kind of reminds me of kind of like how I learned how to behave with spirit is with Robert the Doll. Robert the Doll is here in Florida. He's actually in the Keys. And there's been stories where folks are disrespectful to Robert, or they take pictures without his permission, or they take something from that venue without asking for permission. I think someone took like a rock or something, because the rock looked like something.
Where?
From East Martello, from Fort East Martello. They took like a rock, or they took something from that building as a keepsake. And because they didn't ask for permission.
No, you were talking about taking a picture from Robert.
Yeah. So they ended up having like car issues when they were leaving.
Oh shit.
And that location is known, like they have it on like a wall, I believe, right? Like people's like letters that they write to Robert begging for forgiveness.
They don't have supposedly they don't have the wall anymore, but it was a whole room, like a whole room full of just letters, thousands of letters, and I'm just sitting there reading all these letters. I'm like, this is crazy. So people are just, instead of asking for permission, just be like, yeah, right, and just start taking pictures of the doll.
They fuck around and found out.
Yeah, like car accidents, tires, crash.
Right? If you don't believe in it and you're just going because this doll's got this story, and you're like, I'm just gonna prove everybody wrong. I'm gonna take a picture and nothing's gonna happen. Then you're on your way home and your car breaks down. You run out of gas, and your battery's dead.
So many crazy things.
Like Paranormal Search, like G, a good friend of ours. Like what happened to him is it's almost like it's fucking insanity. Where it's like they go to a location that's like has synonymous with like bad things happening, and then like he has his Ouija board with him, and then they get in that really bad accident, and it's like he's super lucky. But then it begs the question: is that just luck? No, like I don't think that is. Like I legitimately think it's like
force at work.
Yeah, like I really do think that there's some type of manipulation happening where it's like you get like that touch where it's like, all right, now like misfortune's coming your way. And it seems like it's really witchcrafty and like fucking weird, but like at the same time, what is paranormal? Like it seems like it's well, like I guess supernatural, like
natural, yeah.
Yeah, it falls under that whole fucking balloon, if you ask me.
Absolutely. Yep. That whole umbrella.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I think that might be a good point to wrap it up for the night. We want to say thank you guys for coming out and having a wonderful conversation with us.
We know you got to get up so early, and we don't want to keep you any longer than we need to. We'll definitely run this back again because like we have so much more to talk about. Like we've barely scratched.
Next time we'll just get the whole Florida crew up in here.
That would be fucking.
That would be awesome. We love that.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
And for for folks to catch us on the part 2. A little bit previous in the chat, Kindred Paranormal had put, I got a good angle of Armando getting affected by a spirit. So I will give you a little teaser for you folks to make sure that you tune in for the second episode.
Yeah, that's a good angle, right?
we investigated at a jail. The two of us, of course, our brother in arms, Joseph, and Kindred. His real name is Steve, and Reese. That's part of his team. And we investigated, and I got affected. But for the full story, you're gonna have to watch that part 2.
I love the cliffhangers.
Yeah,
The
let's
bomb.
go.
He's so dramatic, right?
I
Hey,
mean,
No,
this
but-
is how
I need to get my views, guys.
Yeah,
you look
oh my
at
God,
it
you're
and
so
you just
ridiculous.
yank it back.
I'm hooked. I'm hooked.
Like that.
No,
We're
but
fishing.
you know how you guys were talking about the whole like freezing. That was the first time I ever experienced something so extreme. Was when that situation happened. It was wild. It was wild.
I can't wait to hear all about this.
Yeah,
You guys,
you should do the Florida
fucking-
roundtable. That'd be great.
you guys are
Oh, we
fucking
could definitely
incredible,
do
though.
that.
I love all of our Floridian friends and everybody that has been in the chat and has jumped in late too. Like, we appreciate all of you so very, very, very much. And
Yeah, no.
if you guys have
without
not
you
checked
guys-
out their channel, like,
sure you
please
just
go do it.
Click their name right in the freaking title. That's how easy it is.
Before you
Boom,
guys
right to
jumped
their
in,
channel.
we were just perusing through some of the shorts, and it's like, is Armando okay? The fuck? Like, we
Yeah,
didn't
that
even
was
talk about
crazy.
that yet. Like, you know,
Yeah,
like
that-
we'll get some clips ready to like pull up next time for sure. But it's like,
Awesome,
these
awesome.
are
I love that
fucking
clip. What you're talking
incredible.
about? Yeah,
Yeah.
that clip
Oh,
was pretty funny.
Definitely peruse the shorts because there's also one where you captured some figures in the grass and it's absolutely.
We were
insane.
sitting there trying to figure it out. I was like, I can't fucking figure this out at all.
Yeah.
It's like, is that pareidolia? Is that actually a fucking person? Because that's like a really, really good silhouette. Like, I don't fucking know, dude.
That was a women's correctional facility, and that place is known for like you can stand there on a dirt road and you'll see like walking just straight shadow figures like back and forth. It's
that
wild.
the dragons that are out there, aka the mosquitoes.
The mosquitoes also.
So you
We
gotta
got
be
war
careful
hawks
with
here
that.
too.
Yeah.
And what was strange about that night, I saw a random red laser light, and I could not figure out from where it was coming.
That's
Mind you, this is an empty field,
Yeah, completely.
so weird.
completely
Nothing.
empty. Like all you have is like tall grass and just crazy
Nothing.
dragons and frogs that make
Frogs and shit.
weird noises.
Well, the guy in the ghillie suit from the FBI fucked up and left his laser on. Like, apparently I'm on a watch list.
When he said a laser, I was like, "What the hell?"
fuck?
So, like, we're gonna get shot. Like I was freaking out for a second. I was like,
Yeah.
"Wait a second,
Like, it's
But
either
you couldn't
aliens
tell from any
or it's the
direction.
government.
it's the government."
Oh, this has been a blast, though. I appreciate you guys so much.
No, thank you so much
you.
for having us, and I want to we both wish you a fantastic 2024 for you
Oh.
and everybody in the chat.
Mhm.
Hell yeah.
Please
We're
check
all
us
gonna
out.
crush it. 2024 is gonna be.
I feel like
amazing.
this is gonna
Everyone's
be like-
crush it.
Like, everybody's been talking gas pedal, and it's like everything I've seen already has been absolutely fucking kerosene on a fire. So it's like, I'm fucking in love already.
Yeah, it's only like second weekend. We're on fire.
The next
Yeah.
the next time that we're on, both of us are gonna have a lot of great success this year, and I wholeheartedly believe it.
Everybody.
And for everybody on the chat, thank you very much. If you want to come check us out, you can find us right there, 305 Paranormal on IG, on Facebook, on YouTube,
No Facebook. Don't listen to us. Please stop.
on AIM,
Stop with your ass.
MySpace.
Yeah.
You
Can
can
you-
find us.
Can you stop?
You can find us on IG and YouTube. If you want to check some of my stuff out, I go by Mr. 305 Paranormal. There, I have some paranormal evidence. I dabble in like customizing sneakers. I talk
let's
about my
go.
local sports teams,
And anime.
anime. We're gonna go to MegaCon soon next
it's an
month, so we can
OnlyFans.
go
Okay.
see OnlyFans. I do feet there, so come and check out my feet.
You don't want to see this guy's toes. No.
But yeah, I'm gonna
Not
go.
them chicken nuggets. All right.
You're Trevor, you're a Bleach fan, so I'm gonna go see Johnny Young Bosch that does the voice of Ichigo.
No shit.
So that guy's amazing. We already met him once, and looking forward to seeing him again. And Colleen Click and Beard that does the voice of Luffy. She was amazing too.
She
Jenny
was
and the
super
girls.
nice. Yeah.
So we're gonna see her. But yeah, you can see that, and then also I would be remiss if I don't plug our brand new show that we just did. It's called Paranormal Coast to Coast
No,
with
Spooked Coast to Coast.
Spook Coast to Coast with our good friend Joy.
Joy and her husband Joey.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we're doing like a live stream, like how you guys are doing every Sunday, and that's at 8 p.m. East, no, 7 p.m. Eastern
7 p.m.
and
Eastern.
4 p.m.
Hell
Pacific time,
yeah.
All right.
and that's it.
That's fucking awesome. So make sure you guys tune in for that too.
And
Thank
with
you,
that
thank
being
you,
said,
guys.
folks, remember to keep your ears and eyes open where it really goes. Boom. In the night.
Peace.
Bye.